All right. So over the last few days, week, whatever you want to say, um, video came out. Jimmy Butler basically saying that if he was in the playoffs, that the Celtics would have been gone. The Knicks, damn sure. All this other stuff. Which got Pat Riley talking about if you ain't on the court, be quiet. Which I understand that. While at the same time, he was just like out and about. So I didn't also bother. Also, his team's gone, so it's not like like the Celtics were gonna take that and bust the Heat ass for like 30 just because of it. They already did that. But also in there, they basically asked Pat Riley if he was gonna give Butler an extension. He's like, I don't know, I don't think so. Basically like we got to see you play in order to give you that extension. Now, and I was like other people I sort of heard and seen is sort of like the same thing where it's like he doesn't take the regular season seriously. I was like, he pretty much had to play like 60 games, or 60 or 65 games in like several years. And then also too, which I was like, I seen like Ben Simmons talk about like how you know he basically got hurt right before the playoffs and stuff. And while the extension part I guess I could get because he's gonna be like 35 or so, 36. Older dude already ain't playing that much. Had a couple knick-knack injuries. Give a dog a bone. I guess I could get it. I like depend on the extension, but I wouldn't doubt that it'd be too crazy because I think this last extension was like just 2 years after he just got after he got signed as a free agent. So it's not like it's not like they're. I don't think they're giving him big extensions anyway. Um, but I was like, I'll put it like this. I get that. I get the age and the games and stuff and how he takes the regular season. But also too, I was like, he, I was like, he like they're always pretty much in the finals. I was like, he been in the finals twice. Uh, I was like only one year I think they got really like bounced out of the first round or whatever like that since he's been there. Like I'm like they're always in the playoffs or they're always in some form of contention, and they don't have a good team around them. Like I'm like I was like he's pretty much like I was like I mean Bam is there, but if you want to really talk about it, Bam this past year I think is like actually played like the offensive guy we think he could be. Where like before then, it's always been a wish sandwich. Like I wish he could do more. I wish he could take more than this stuff like that. And I think you've seen that a little bit with when he was like, especially like facing Denver. But I'm like, we always like, man, he should be over here like 20 plus with the, you know. And he jumped out wood. I was like, he got a good jump shooting game. I was like, he's very fluid. He gets to the basket, you know but he wasn't. I was like, so guess what? Jimmy had to be Jimmy Butler all the time, and I just think it's crazy that he gets like it's really weird that there's also saying like if you don't get it, you don't get it. Disgruntled Butler, and I'm like, isn't that everybody? Like it's weird to me that I'm like, so let's see, he's been to the finals more than KD has. And like how long has it been since KD been to the finals? Uh, I was like, he's been further in the playoffs than LeBron has. I was like, they met each other in the championship game, and since then, I was like, he's gotten further than the Lakers. I was like, Lakers got bounced out in the first round this year. They've been in the playing game like 2 or 3 years. And I was like, since LeBron's been there. So, and I was like, Steph got a championship. So I was like, in that same vein as LeBron, he did get a championship. But you also want to make the case. I was like, he also went further than Golden State had. Golden State also been in the playing game like 2 or 3 times. Um, and I'm just saying, I was like, I'm pretty also sure that they have had more talent than the Miami Heat. I was like, if you give Butler that talent, I think they pretty much probably be just as good, or not, maybe a little bit better. Um, like they're not getting another superstar. That's what they've been promising for what, how many years? And I'm pretty sure that I'm like, if you're gonna get a star, I'm pretty sure Jimmy would have probably. I was like, look, it's weird that they're playing hardball necessarily with him. I don't know if this means that uh, Pat is gonna like have him just play out the year and let him be a free agent, because I can also see him. I can also see him giving him an extension and then trading him. I feel like he's either gonna trade him like, you know, now, or in like, you know, like off season, or something like that. I was like, but he's not gonna give him it, or he's just gonna let him walk out a free agent. Which either way, I'm like, you're not going to get really value for Jimmy Butler, because we know you want to get rid of him, and a lot of people don't like giving Miami anything anyway, because they don't like Pat Riley. See how the whole Dame trade sort of went. Um, and then I'm like, if you let him go, guess what? Now you're back in the purgatory that you was beforehand. I was like, what you going to do with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo? With the East team, like, you know, like, yes, are they the same as the West? No. But I was like, are they better than the Knicks? No. You think they're better than Indiana? No. You think they're better than the Rising Orlando? No. I was like, the Bucks will be back. Philly will be back. So if you look at it, where are they at? They pretty much is battling for that 7th, 8th seed. Come on, what we talking about? So look, I was like, the Heat's best option is really just a cave. Now, I was like, guess what? You sign Mitchell or something like that in the offseason? Hey, maybe. Uh, I was like, and to join this up with another topic they were talking about, basically a Paul George or Jimmy Butler for Philadelphia, if they had the option. To me, I was like, see, it's sort of hard, because I was going to say, I was like, I think Paul George is going to want more money than Jimmy, but I feel like Jimmy would try to get back for Philly not signing him in the first place. Um, they said something that like Jimmy going to Philly is would stop Maxey from taking over the team. And I'm like, whenever I was like, you haven't seen that from Jimmy at all since he's been with Miami. He was like that with Minnesota, because you had Wiggins and you had Cat, who was talented but it wouldn't do anything about it. Wouldn't take advantage of the opportunity, nothing like that. And then with Miami, then y'all get mad that he doesn't play to his top notch, and then he's not, and that he's over here sharing the ball and he taking too long to take over. Which one is it? I was like, so we got a sorry Heat team that you're like, yo, he's deferring too much. But then I was like, then he got a talent team that you're like, oh, he's a menace over here because they're not doing anything. I was like, so you think he's gonna go to Philadelphia and he's gonna take over and be like, it's my team? No, he's not gonna do that. I was like, if anything, I think that would be the best thing for Jimmy Butler. I was like, Joel is there, so we already know what he could do, and Tyreek's there, and he's like, oh great, there's already a second guy here. I could just be defensive dude, assist guy, rebound guy. I was like, basketball IQ, hustle dude, and then in moments you need me, I got you. Like, guess what? How Embiid was showing out like that last game, but Tyrese didn't give it. Guess what? You had Butler there. I was like, different game. Some of those games you have Butler there, you might win and you might beat the Knicks. Now, the Paul George side of it. Paul George is going to play more games than Jimmy Butler during the regular season. What we don't talk about is that even though he's been healthy this year, Paul George always get his ass hurt towards the end of the year. So at the same time, Paul George sometimes isn't available for the playoffs. And then when he is there for the playoffs, sometimes you get the game, like the 2 games he gave you get the Maverick. Then sometimes you get the other couple games that he gave you get the Maverick, where it was just like nothing. Whereas like Jimmy, you know, at least is going to be consistent. Like he's never going to be sorry, or a dud. You're not getting that out of Jimmy Butler. Um, I also think that Jimmy Butler game doesn't allow him to just disappear the way Paul George does. I think that if his shot ain't going, he also gives you more than Paul George does. I think that this ain't like with the Lakers where they needed a third star to carry. Like, yes, Joel Embiid gets hurt, but I was like, Tyrese Maxey is young. He doesn't get hurt. I was like, so therefore, you can survive more so with Jimmy Butler not being there in a different way that you could with Paul George being there. I was like, and then also this you're wanting the playoffs. That's what you want to do. Jimmy Butler's there for that. It was like this one year that he wasn't. Other than that, he's always been there. I was like, we done had a couple with Paul George in there, like I said, either through injury or he just doesn't show up sometimes. Also, let's talk about it. Do we know how Paul George is going to be when he's the third guy? I'm like, sometimes iffy, sometimes not. I was like, or we have to. I was like, we've seen him with the dynamic with the Clippers, and it's like, if he's the top guy, we've seen him like sometimes he balls out when he's the top guy. Sometimes when he's the third guy, he's okay. But then in games when you like, I need you to get 30, he doesn't. Now, in saying all this, anything is better than Tobias damn Harris and the money he was making. And that's where I think we all can agree. Because Tobias Harris is going to give you his playoff zeros constantly. Or 9 points with really no rebound. And nothing else. Like Paul George, at least, and Jimmy Butler, at least going to give you something. But also, too, this is my thing. Whether you get Paul George or Jimmy Butler, especially if you get Jimmy Butler, fill out the rest of the damn team. I was like, that's what you gotta do. If you're banking on Jimmy Butler, also figure out the other type of stuff. But I think Paul George is going to ask for more. I think Paul George is going to be wanting more money than Jimmy Butler, to be honest. But we don't know if this is even a possibility because he's not a free agent. Paul George is a free agent, so we'll see. But hey, we'll see how this goes. See what everybody talking about. Till next time, peace. I'm out.